Alright. We're gonna go ahead and go on to the next one. Let me see.
Give us your choice, Brandon.
Let's do Lichen Rock.
Day or night, or do you just want to cover both?
We're gonna do both. I'm gonna start with midday form though. Let me look.
Day and night.
Yeah.
Womp.
Okay, honestly, I was completely all about midday form. It was just honestly like I thought it was clearly the better choice, but after seeing both and their hidden abilities, uh, they're a lot more even than I'd care to admit. Midday form.
Well, and my thing is, the midnight form has slightly higher stats. Total. The higher stat total.
Yeah, and Lycanroc has more like attacking and speed. It's 8, but the night form has more balanced stats.
Yeah, so I like how ridiculously fast Lycanroc is midday form, and then it's got a good attack. I like its move pool. I like how it also has that priority stab, and then it gets Sand Rush and Steadfast. So they're like decent abilities, but I think it stands out for its stats. So,
I don't think either of those abilities are good. Neither of those abilities really stick out as being good to me because Sand Rush isn't that useful because it already has 112 base speed. That's 3 higher than Heliolisk. And Steadfast, aside from Fake Out, it's not going to be flinching like ever.
Yeah, I see this thing in UU, in my opinion.
Unless you're getting like Paraflinch like the Togekiss, which doesn't matter at that point because you're going to die.
Yeah. This thing would shine in a monotype league where you run rocks, and I mean all rock Pokemon benefit from Sandstorm. So you run that Sand Rush in, nothing will outspeed this thing.
Oh yeah,
it does get even Stealth Rock, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, even Scarf users aren't going to outspeed this thing. Wait, it learns what you say?
Stealth Rock.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, how does it learn it?
Level
up. Okay. I thought I saw it in it as a TM move, and my heart kind of like stuttered.
Yeah.
Good lord, they can't ever put Stealth Rock as a TM. They can't ever do that again.
Yeah, Midnight form, no guard. Enough said.
Yeah.
Yeah. No guard is always good.
No guard, stab, Stone Edge.
Oh. Stone Edge. Stone Edge all the way.
Does it have any other attacks that are useful with no guard?
Well, it gets Sucker Punch, which is nice, but as far as no guard...
But that doesn't really affected by no guard.
Yeah, but it's still awesome that he gets Sucker Punch. Oh, I think they both do, actually.
How worthwhile is it to get a no miss Stone Edge when also every move that your opponent uses is going to hit you?
They both get Sucker Punch. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I recall hearing a lot of people being like, it doesn't make sense that it gets Sucker Punch. It's on 4 legs. It's called Surprise Attack in Japanese, actually, which is something that I don't is that widely spread because I hear it's a complaint I hear a lot.
Sucker Punch isn't necessarily a punch.
Yeah, it's just.
Even in real life, a Sucker Punch is considered an attack in which the opponent was not expecting it.
It gets Swords Dance too.
Yeah, like running Choice Scarf on a Barbaracle after using Shell Smash for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look like it gets too many things that really benefit from it other than Stone Edge, but Stone Edge and Sucker Punch with a 115 attack is pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what this looks like. It gets the fangs.
Yeah, it does get the fangs, which is nice. It gets counter still, so that's like a nice.
It gets Crush Claw for whatever reason.
Yeah, Crush Claw. Yeah, Crush Claw is fun. It's not really worth it if you don't have the stab, which even then return is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Crush Claw can lower defense.
Or at that point, if you honestly out of normal type moves, I prefer return for the more consistent damage, and also just Body Slam for the paralysis chance.
Yeah.
And also, not even that many Pokemon can really learn Crush Claw, so it's not even really that big of a thing anyway.
I think both of these guys are going to be in UU.
I agree with you, especially. I think Midnight Form might be lower.
Might be
Actually,
Midnight Form might be BL, but I mean that's practically UU. Let's face it.
Yeah, I don't really. I like this thing, especially like it reminds me. It reminds me a bit too much of Zoroark, and Zoroark's one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon, but this thing it looks just too much like it rather than its own thing.
Mm.
It looks like it looks like Zoroark fused with Shadow the Hedgehog a little bit.
Yeah.
Ow, the edge.
Let's see. Anything else that you wanted to talk about, Isaac?
I mean, if we got time, I'd like to talk about Chivali or however you pronounce that.
Mini Arceus, yeah.
I mean, my thing is, this thing has a lot of potential just because especially in the draft format.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have no idea what type this thing is going to be going into it.
Yeah.
True, also, isn't this a decent move? You know, like that changes type as well, I believe.
Yeah,
this multi-attack has 90 power and 100 accuracy.
No.
Yeah, honest. This is the only Pokemon I think that oh wow, that's a lot of level 1 moves. That this is the only thing I think that gets just one stat changed upon evolving. The only thing that increases on this thing when it evolves is speed.
Yeah, which is why I think honestly. Other than maybe the move pool that he gets, let's just see here. Yeah, obviously the move pool is not as good, but honestly,
it definitely wants to lean toward physical.
Eviolite type.
Yeah, I believe the unevolved form,
and it has battle armor, so it can't be crit.
Under Eviolite.
Yeah, Eviolite type null.
Yeah, Eviolite really on that. I mean, that's a Pokemon that could potentially be pretty bulky.
Yeah,
especially with battle armor, as you said. I mean, it's...
If only it had recovery, because right now I'm looking at it, it doesn't look like it has recovery.
Yeah. Yeah, like if it could just get like something outside
it could
rest.
Be a really good, because 95, 95, and 95 is incredible bulk with a... with an ability like battle armor.
Eviolite, yeah.
So less sleep talk is a usable thing, I think, on this, but
especially because
one of the other reliable recovery, honestly.
Yeah, especially since one of the
U-turn
is toxic, which rest gets around that.
Yeah,
which is good.
So I think Type Null, honestly, both of them are going to be really good. I think Silvally is probably going to be a top OU Pokemon.
Will be a bit better. Yeah.
Oh, it gets Dragon Claw. That's interesting. Gets a Thunderbolt. Gets Shadow Ball. This thing has a really varied move pool.
Yeah, it
does, and I think part of the thing is
change types.
Yeah, I mean you can have a stab attack pretty much.
Whoa! Wait a minute. It's Draco Meteor
outside of.
Oh, you're right. It does.
Have Draco Meteor on something that's not a dragon type for I think the first time ever. I don't think any
be a dragon type.
It should be. Yeah, has flamethrower.
Of course it does. It gets Steel Wing for some ungodly reason.
Has flame charge.
Flame charge.
Yeah, I think this thing is honestly going to be top OU. I hope it doesn't get put in Ubers because I really would love to use this thing.
Yeah.
Type Null is going to be.
And I don't really foresee it going into Ubers just because it's 95 straight.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of 100 straight Pokemon that are BL or OU match.
Yeah,
Manaphy,
it's just the RKO system is going to be really, really viable. I mean, Greninja was put in, it didn't have as good of stats. Yeah, it was faster and whatever, but, it didn't have one move that consistently stayed the same type for stab and had a strong, base power.
Yeah.
And this thing can change type to whatever you want it to be.
Yeah. Speaking of Greninja, do you want to just really quickly? Do you have any opinions on how the Ash Greninja is going to be going to affect anything?
It's going to be Ubers. I mean, it's obvious.
Well, I mean, but Greninja's already in Ubers, so the Ash Greninja is just a Greninja with Battle Bond.
Yeah,
See, here's
but
the
it's definitely just going to go to Ubers as well. It has higher power. It does more damage than Protean Greninja. So
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though.
Yes,
First,
especially with Water Shuriken, because
being special now, yeah. But here's the thing. About that. One, you can't trigger Battlebond unless you knock something out, which now you don't have Protean to help you close the deal with that. So it's harder to KO things, especially in Ubers. And two, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but every single Ash Greninja that you get from the demo, its nature is neutral. They're all hardy natured.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That would
but
be
that
interesting.
is.
So that's
that
like a
is
30-point
the
stat.
demo, though. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it'll stay like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it'll pan out, but I also just realized that Silvally gets Parting Shot.
Oh God!
Which is an incredible move. The only one who could learn it was Pangoro, and he's too slow to manipulate that. So imagine having Choice Scarf Silvally, and then having Parting Shot as a pivot out if you didn't want to use U-turn. There's nothing that can stop Parting Shot. Like it's a guaranteed switch out, and it's very interesting. Offenses.
Well, and referring to, I know you had talked about Protean Greninja being in Ubers because it can change type, and worried a bit about Silvally being the same way. Silvally might be able to change types, but it can't mid-battle, which I think was what was so big with Greninja, was it was so fast and it could change mid-battle. You'd have to predict what attack it was using in order to get...
Yeah. Like, one of the best interactions you could do with Greninja was, use a water-type attack, knock something out, they send in something with the intent to use Thunderbolt, and then use Spikes.
The only other downside I'll say to Silvally is it appears that you are required to use a certain item in order to change its type. So if you want it to be something other than normal type, you'll have to sacrifice the item to do that.
Which you could still totally run normal Silvally because it's just at that point just mini Arceus.
Yeah, and it's still going to be good. I'm just saying there is
my thing is, depending on exactly how the items work, whether they just change its type or if they're kind of like the plates and give boost to that type's attacks, I think that could also make the items more viable. Still have that 1.2 times boost to the fire type or water or electric, whatever.
This thing's going to be great if it is drafted at some point next season, which I bet it will be, because it can be any type. So just by drafting it, you're immediately playing head games with your opponent before you even get anywhere near the battle because they have no idea.
You don't know. Like, Ditto just completely stops things, and this is kind of the same way. You'll be able to have any type you want. You're like, oh, I really need a steel type. Because, I'm really weak to rock and ice, which speaks true to how I was earlier this season. Oh, well, I have Silvally. I'll just run the steel type disc on it so I can have a steel type that has decent bulk. It can be anything you need it to be, which is outright fantastic. Yeah, it's invaluable.
Yeah. Well, and even if you run it a certain type, doesn't mean that you have to have moves of the same. You have fairy type with Draco Meteor. So however you want to run this thing, it's so diverse. It has a wide move pool. You can change its main attack type along with its type. Yeah. I think this thing will be a force to be reckoned with, and I hope to God it's not in Ubers, because this thing would be fantastic.
Oh, it would be so much fun to use. I really imagine having a fairy or a flying type Silvally.
I don't even. I don't even want to go up against this thing, but I want it to be in the in next season because there's just so much potential you can do with that, and I want someone to just grab this thing. I kind of want to just try to get this myself next season because this is just. I said earlier.
I'm gunning for it.
Yeah, I said earlier that variance in draft is earlier variance is key. This is the ultimate variance. You have a humongous move pool. It's got like almost a Mew tier level move pool, and it can hit any type.
Yeah, I think it fits my play style because if you look, most of what I drafted this season, my play style is high variance teams.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that I can change up and bounce around, do whatever the heck I want to with is how I play.
Shout out to Imprisoned Chandelure.
I know, right?
Or how about
Go back and watch that video if you haven't
Sharpedo
seen it.
last week?
So I guess we'll go ahead and go on to the next one. Since
this thing's gonna be great.
We're done. I think we've bragged about Silvally enough.
Yeah, we've gushed over this thing.
That will be on my team.
Hamilton, was there one that you wanted to talk about next?
We haven't brought up any of the Alolan forms, and I wanted to touch on Alolan Ninetales.
Yes. Okay. I have a whole spiel, so you say what you need to, and then I'm gonna have my
say what you say. All right.
And Brandon, I'd like to point out that I never could find that video, so if you could send me the link for this video, that would be great.
The Alolan one? Yeah, I could do
Yeah,
it.
the Alolan one. I found all the others, so...
Okay.
Oh, this thing is very interesting. Partially in that one, it gets snow warning,
Yes.
which is always...
Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited. They're buffing
These never miss. It gets
hail.
nasty at level friggin' 1, of course, the same as the regular Ninetales, and of course it's also fairy. I don't see Moonblast in here. I'm assuming that it can learn it as a Vulpix though. It gets Dazzling Gleam. I hope it can get Moonblast because that would be really good.
Yes,
Moonblast
would be nice.
Check Vulpix. Vulpix may have it in its level up.
My thing is if it could learn it, it would probably be in TMs because I would foresee Moonblast.
It gets it as an egg move, actually.
Excellent.
Oh.
Excellent. Oh yes. I wonder if it still gets Energy Ball as an egg move too.
Was Moonblast 95 last time too?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I don't know.
I thought it was 90.
I thought it was 90 as well.
Hold on.
I think it's a buff.
I'll Google it.
On that note,
don't Google it. I'm
so excited that they're buffing Hail because they have this, and then they also have the Sandslash who has Slush Rush, which is pretty cool.
It's still 90. It's 95 now. It's always been 95.
Huh. Oh well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Slush Rush is, by the way, just one of the funniest names for an ability I've ever seen.
Yeah. What does it do?
It's Sand Rush for Hail.
Yeah.
Sand Rush for Hail.
Yeah.
Slush Rush.
Yeah. And it gets nice priority in Ice Shard, although with the base stat of 67 in attack, that's not going to be that good. It gets Calm Mind, which is great.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite Alolan form, aside from possibly Marowak, which Marowak's stats are a bit too similar to its original form for me to really appeal to me. But yeah, I think this thing's going to be very interesting. It's also very well designed, and yeah, I think this thing's gonna see some pretty good use.
It's
honestly
definitely going to be OU. I mean not OU, UU. I'm not sure about higher, but because of Bullet Punch.
I was about to say OU. I don't foresee that one, but
Bullet Punch is going to kill this thing so bad, but it's going to still be a dragon killer.
Bullet Punch.
Honestly, it may be RU. I mean, just.
Well, that's where regular Ninetales
the
is.
The similarities to the Odyssey, though. I mean.
Yeah, I think this thing can see a lot of use. It's probably my favorite Alolan form, and I've looked forward to taking a look at this thing ever since we found out about them. Mm-hmm. Since this wasn't the first batch.
I will say. I will say one of the things that I'm a bit disappointed on with the Alolan forms is that it seems like most of the Pokemon, maybe got 10 points buff, and they look almost exactly the same in stats distribution, not just the total.
They're very similar. They're very similar, which I kind of understand, but I do wish they were a little bit different. But the new typings that are on most of them do very much help.
Yeah,
I mean, I would understand the base stats being the same, but I wish that sometimes they would have had a different distribution.
Yeah, like there's no reason for Ninetales to have that 67 in attack. You can just drop that down to like 20 and throw 47 in something else.
Mm-hmm.
Special attack, for example.
Yeah, like Mega Beedrill it, you know, because Mega Beedrill's got like Mega Beedrill has like no special attack whatsoever because it was just all sucked out and thrown into physical attack and speed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'll mention my favorite Alolan form, which is Alolan Golem. This thing literally is... I really didn't care much for the design at first. I mean, it was cool. If I can find it.
It looks like a Dr. Eggman creation.
But like its ability Galvanize, just it's so good.
What is Galvanize? I didn't catch.
It's Aerolate for electric types.
Oh.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
And it gets Volt Switch.
Electric type stab return. Electric type stab explosion.
Yeah.
I beat you too, yeah.
It's awful.
I got that, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I'm so excited to use this guy. It also gets Sturdy and Magnet Pull. Magnet Pull is really good. So
yeah,
it's just 3 really usable moves, and then it has the normal bulk that it has. The only thing
it's got Rock
that's
Electric
is the ground weakness, but other than that, I mean, I love the typing. I love the typing.
Yeah. Rock Electric is very. I don't think there's a Rock Electric type before this. Yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things you can do with this. You could use Volt Switch on this thing; it'll do like no damage, but you have the option
stab
to
pivot,
run.
Yeah, which is really nice, especially on slow Pokemon. Yeah,
because slow Volt Switch is. I love to have a part. Like I tried to draft Electros for this season even though I already had. A Volt Turner in Heliolisk because I wanted a fast one and a slow Turner. I wanted to have both so I could have the option. Mm-hmm. Because a slow Volt Turn I think is something that's underrated. That's very underrated a lot because just it guarantees that you can get your fragile sweeper in without taking any damage while still getting damage off with your Turner, which is great.
Yeah, I'm really excited to use this. I totally want to draft this. I know it may not be the best. It'll probably go down, like, I think regular Golem's like PU. I think this thing could be NU or RU, but I still think the Galvanize ability is just so awesome.
Yeah, regular Golem is PU. He's actually one of the better Pokemon on the main PU team that I use. Because like the best way to run Golem in PU is to run him with Sturdy, obviously, and you also run it with Weakness Policy.
Yeah, he also gets Counter and Curse, or I mean Counter and Endure. So.
You don't bother with those. You just let it get hit down to 1, and trigger Weakness Policy, and then you Sucker Punch everything.
Yeah. Or you do Endure, Galvanize, Custap, Berry, Explosion.
Yeah, you can do that. And there's also it gets like a Rock Blast, so that's nice. Like Rock Blast is actually much better in PU than it is in other formats because the bulk isn't as good. Mm-hmm. Like most of the bulky Pokemon in that tier are Eviolite users. Mm-hmm. Like Roselia is one. But enough about PU. Really, it's not really.
I just realized Facade.
Facade, yeah. Although this isn't that good a Facade user because it basically is almost impossible to get this thing paralyzed, and you generally want
like burn or poison because it's a
attacker. You generally want Facade on something that is able to be like hit by all forms of status just to increase the chances of it being useful.
Yeah, that's true.
Like which is why it works so well on Ursaring in PU because then you just stack it with Quick Feet.
Right. Was there an Alolan form that stuck out to you other than the 2 we mentioned, Isaac?
As I said, I never really looked through them a lot. I really like the look of Alolan Marowak.
Oh yeah, it looks really cool.
So I mean, it's really cool looking.
I'm sad about its stats.
Its speed is very bad, yes. But
I
it
have
gets
not
lightning
seen
rod.
it, as I have said. So,
Yeah,
I
it
see
gets
it now.
belly drum.
It gets lightning rod, which is fantastic. It's always
Rockhead is pretty good when it has Flare Blitz too.
Oh, does it? Oh, this has Flare Blitz? Yeah, that's nice. But I think I would prefer to run lightning rod. Yeah, I think I would prefer to run a lightning rod over this just because it's more useful on here on a Alola Marowak than regular, just because Alola Marowak is immune to electric anyway. But it works very
Honestly,
well.
does it learn Flare Blitz?
Yes,
It does.
53.
Running Rockhead Flare Blitz would be nice.
Oh yeah, they're both viable.
And then Stomping Tantrum's a really interesting move. If the opponent previous move fails, the power doubles. It's a ground move.
Yes.
The user's previous move has what? Does that mean I guess that means
honestly,
if
Will-O-Wisp
uses Head Smash, it misses, so he uses Stomping Tantrum the next turn.
My thing is, I think that
works
best. I think that move would work best with somebody using Sucker Punch, just because you can't guarantee they're going to be attacking. Sucker Punch failed. Oh no! Oh, Stomping Tantrum.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It also gets Will-O-Wisp and Shadow Bone, which Shadow Bone's interesting because it's another strong physical ghost move.
What's Shadow
Bone chance to lower defense.
It has a chance to lower defense, but it's 85 base power.
So it's basically a stab crunch that's slightly weaker. So yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it. I like it a lot. It also just looks insanely cool.
It does.
Yeah, it definitely looks really cool.
Wait, what's this? Brutal Swing. That's a new TM, isn't it?
Yeah, that does damage to all Pokemon. So it's a doubles move.
Oh, base power.
Yeah.
That's not very good.
Yeah.
It's a little too
He learns Dream Meter, guys.
Ooh, Dream Meter.
I wish it got Shadow Sneak, honestly.
I think we wish a lot of things would get Shadow Sneak.
Yeah, I just feel like that would benefit it a lot more because of its abysmal speed stat.
Yeah.
Does it get Flame Charge? Or
I believe it does. I'm pretty sure it gets Flame Charge. Scroll down a bit on there, or rather, go along further in the video. I mean, you can't really scroll. Yeah, he gets Flame Charge, and that's Stab.
So that would also help with the whole speed thing. That's something that Marowak doesn't have.
Yeah, so what you
I don't know exactly how viable that would be going into it, but I mean that sure would, at least for in Alola, I think this would be super viable to run. Just because everything is slow. Double that or multiply that speed with Flame Charge, and then go in with whatever other attacks you want, and this thing will rock the world.
Let's see. I would probably go move 1 Flame Charge, move 2 Shadow Bone, move 3 Flare Blitz if I was using Rockhead, and then 4th move coverage option of choice.
Yeah.
Probably Thunder Punch, honestly. So you could hit water types. Because I'm assuming this thing can get Thunder Punch at some point by like Move Tutor or something, or Egg Move, something like that. I don't know if there are Move Tutors in this game other than the Draco Meteor one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope this thing can get Thunder Punch because I just really want to keep access to the Elemental Punches around.
Yeah.
Because this thing's useful for coverage.
It would.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything about them still being around though. Which, whatever.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring up one that's not. I'm gonna bring up one that's not a Alolan form that we've kind of mentioned, but I think it deserves to be talked about, and that's Salizzle.
Yeah, I knew you would bring this thing up. The second I saw this thing, I thought, "Oh, Brandon's gonna love this Pokemon," just because Salizzle looks so much like the Crocodile line already.
I love it, but like Corrosion is so good, and
you noticed something I noticed about this thing? You noticed that it's they're all female.
Yeah, it's an only female evolution like Vespiquen.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can there be male Salandit?
Yes, but they won't
Oh.
evolve.
Oh, well, that's crap. I hope the
Yeah.
gender ratio is not. What's the gender ratio,
I
actually?
have no idea.
That should be there if you go back in the video for Salandit. Because I see it up there for. What's her face? Oh, crap. It's got the same. That's terrible.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, it's mostly male, and yet.
And all Nuzlocke players across the globe just got a little sad.
So let's look at some of the moves that this thing gets, because it's ridiculous. Like, its
It's
stats,
notable.
its speed stat is ridiculous. This is OU. Like, it's going to be OU. No way.
It is very
117
tough.
is incredible. Special
With
attack is
corrosion,
decent.
it's OU.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing learns toxic corrosion.
It actually learns toxic,
even gives
too.
a crap
Like,
about
keep
the
that
rest
in
of its
mind.
moveset.
It gets nasty
It
plot.
learns nasty
toxic.
plot.
Like, it learns it
yeah.
at level 29. I don't think many Pokemon legitimately learn Toxic. It does get Nasty Paw. It gets Dragon moves.
Venoshock. I mean, on
It's
any...
Dragon Pulse?
I imagine Poison, like, is going to be a legitimate thing. Like, Venoshock with this and Toxapex is going to be kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But good.
Yeah.
This,
Although this thing's really too fragile for you to be setting up Toxics with it. You're going to want to try to get the poison off of a Sludge Bomb.
Well, what I'm saying is you throw a Toxic or you get things poisoned previously, and then you switch this in, and it has Venoshock, which does 130 damage instead of 65, and it's Stab. I mean, that's
I have a
just
question
gonna...
now.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Does Corrosion
Well,
only
and plus,
allow
I mean-
you to poison it, or do Poison-type attacks, period? No, wait, they do.
It's
They show
only, it's only poison, so it doesn't
No, wait,
nullify
didn't
the
they show the-
immunity to attacks, but it's still...
Didn't they show the trailer, someone Sludge Bombing a Skarmory and it working?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you can totally just
No,
launch...
actually,
just,
I'm sorry. It was Toxic. It wasn't Sludge Bomb.
Are you sure? I'm gonna double this. Hold on, because
And then,
I swear I remember that
See,
happening.
the cool thing, though, is since it has that good special attack and it gets its fire, nobody's going to switch into Steel type. They're going to switch into Poison type, and that doesn't naturally resist fire. So it's a really good typing as far as offense goes, and it matches
and it
its
gets
stats
flamethrower,
well.
so...
And it gets Will-O-Wisp, too, and Dragon Tail.
I mean, yeah, this thing's just a beast.
Okay, yeah, I was wrong. You can't. Apparently, it doesn't work with attacks. It only works with Toxic Temp, which is actually not.
Which,
that
I mean,
good.
still flamethrower though does get
It's too fragile. It's too fragile for you to want to. It's too fragile for you to want a Toxic. It's a Toxic with it because if you take the turn to Toxic, they bop you and you die.
I'm still just so excited.
Well, I mean,
by
but
the
most Steel
prospect of this
Pokemon
thing.
aren't strong enough to. I mean, well, some are, but a lot of Steel types are more defensive than they are physical special attackers.
That's a
I mean,
good.
you have a few cases like Metagross, Skarmory, and such that aren't, but a lot like Ferrothorn especially.
Yeah, but at that point you just flamethrower them.
It also gets knockoff, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How much did Knockoff get knocked down to?
It still says 65.
Oh, I guess. I guess I was misinformed about it being dropped down in base power.
And it gets Fake Out.
Fake Out's good. Fake Out's real good. Disable if that
so
puts you up.
good. Knockoff.
It gets
Fake Out,
Encore.
Toxic. I just wish I had Toxic Spikes. That would be so funny.
Oh, guys, think about it. With Encore, if, let's say, just use like Swords Dance or the like, you can Encore them into it and then poison whatever they switch in.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, this thing's going to be not just some straight attacker, but it's still going to be such a threat. I'm sure it's going to take a lot of skill to use properly, though.
It's also one of the few things in this generation that really has any degree of speed to it.
Yeah, which is really, like, also 117 is an incredible, like, tier because even though
even outside of this generation,
Knockoff handles so many problems with Pokemon that it outspeeds, and that will help the rest of the team when it is able to do stuff like that. So
yeah.
Life
thing is though, it also it has low attack, so even Knockoff won't do a ton of damage with this though.
Well, yeah, it will still do
Yeah.
quite a bit of damage if
It's more of a tech.
I mean, I agree that it'll do quite a bit, but still,
like you only want to use knock off the
greatest
turns matters when you're
user.
knocking something off, in which case that's where it's actually doing something. So you're still doing quite a bit of damage when you're actually wanting to use knockoff. So knockoff's one of those things that even if you don't have a lot of power behind it, it's never bad. Like I run it on Tentacruel when I have like a minus attack nature and no attack investment, because and same as Rapid Spin, because you don't run it for the damage, you run it for for just the effect.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I've got one more Pokemon to talk about before we finish it for now, and we can come back to more of this at a later point. But man, Golisopod, like that thing, if I can find it.
Which one's Golisopod? Oh god,
it's Wimpod's evolution.
I'm not a huge fan of its ability, but it's not necessarily bad. I mean, you can use that to its advantage. It gets first of all incredible like attack and defense. It gets Sucker Punch, like
absolutely trash speed, but Sucker Punch makes up for that.
Yeah.
My question is this: does it only auto switch out the first time its HP becomes half or less, or if its HP is lower than half when you switch it in next and it takes damage again but lives, does it switch out again?
That's something we might have to just experiment with when it comes out, because I really don't know.
Well, if you look, it has an attack impression, which could be part of a plus to its ability.
What's it do?
It's just a strong attack that it can use, but it's only first turn. So.
Oh, take a look at Liquidation. Wow.
Yeah, Liquidation is also nice.
Liquidation's great.
It also learns. It also learns that 80 power leech life.
Oh, it gets Aqua Jet.
Oh, Aqua Jet. Oh, Aqua Jet. That makes it immediately so much better. I love this thing now. This thing looks like such a beast.
And Bug Water's a really cool type to have too. It gets
over, Master Wayne.
Let's see. Although it only first turn users in battle.
This looks like the quote unquote Gyarados of this generation, in that it evolves from it has Wimp in the name.
Yeah, it definitely. So like having Swords Dance on an attack like that, you're obviously going to run an Adamant Nature if you're running it offensively. So and then Sucker Punch and Aqua Jet. Oh.
Yeah.
Part of the thing is you got to be careful about setting up with this thing, because if someone even just gets a decent hit in, I mean, you're, because of its ability, shot out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely depends on if emergency exit works every time it takes damage while it's damage that even if it's below half already. If it does that, then it definitely takes a hit and usability. But if it only triggers when it initially falls below half, then that's not so bad. Especially because that just gives you switch initiative, really, into something that.
I mean, there's that, but
into something else.
Well, but then if emergency exit acts like Whirlwind and it just auto pits a Pokemon to pull out instead of.
That's the point.
That would be bad, and this Pokemon
I'm sure
would
that's what
definitely
it is. It's like a red card.
I hope not.
But
I'm hoping to goodness that it actually lets you pick. If so, this Pokemon's viable. If not, if it just random picks, this thing is RU max.
No,
and I do mean
I don't know. Eject button is used pretty successfully, and you don't have any control on who you switch out to.
Where?
But if you also consider that you could just throw a Citrus Berry on it, that would probably prevent emergency exit the first time, and this could probably do enough damage to where it can do anything before it goes down or is forced out, in my opinion.
I'm gonna level with you, Brandon. I don't think I've ever seen an eject button used ever, honestly.
Very specific Pokemon, especially.
But I mean, if you get to pick, I can see this Pokemon being very viable. And even if it doesn't work every time, using that high-powered Leech Life stab, I mean, you could get back above 50% and then be knocked back below, and it'd be an easy pivot to get a Pokemon in to without getting hit.
Yeah.
You don't have to switch. It's kind of like the whole slow U-turn thing.
Just imagine
that we were talking
being,
about
like,
earlier.
assault vested too. Like, ugh.
Yeah, that could work. That could work very well.
But my thing is, if it is just the switch out, it all gives a. Gosh dang it, I can't even think of an Archeops vibe. When it hits that less than 50%, that's whenever you're into trouble.
Yeah, I will say it is at least, even if it works that way, it's probably better than Archeops. It definitely looks it looks a lot better than Archeops does.
I agree it's better than Archeops, but there is a Pokemon this generation that's very much like Archeops. I want to point that out. That
which
would
one?
be Wishy-Washy.
Yeah, Wishy-Washy.
Its ability is pretty much Archeops.
Oh, that thing's so stupidly strong, though. Ugh.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's very Archeopsy. I mean, if its HP's less than 50%, its stats are crap.
No, it's quarter. It's not 50%.
Is it?
Oh, it's quarter?
Which is why
I thought
it's
it was
still
50%.
pretty broken, because you could throw a citrus berry or even leftovers on it, and it, kind of outlasts that.
And that's not near as bad as I thought it was. I thought it was 50%.
Yeah, its defenses are so good. It's so hard to get it down below a quarter, especially if you have just leftovers recovery.
But it has low HP.
620 base stats in the school form.
That's higher than pseudos.
Yeah, it's higher than legendaries too.
Well,
but it also gets a terrible stat drop if it does drop below 25.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean it's pretty much gone at that point, but
you force them to waste an attack to finish it off, if anything.
Yeah, free switching. At that point, you're sacking it off anyways, but
yeah. Well, or you healing wish and go back into it again.
Yeah. So there's so much more we could talk about, but I think we're gonna stop it here for now. I need to. There we go. So next time we'll talk more about any other Pokemon that we want to mention. Maybe jump into some legendaries, maybe even the Ultra Beasts, however we feel. But that's it for this time, guys. Thank you all for joining me.
Oh, no, not a problem.
Happy to do it, man.
And I will see you all. Thank you for watching next time. Thanks for watching, guys. If y'all enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like, and if you want, subscribe for more videos. Hope to see y'all in the future, and thank you for watching.